I start to look towards the political system that's set forth here in America. And what I end up seeing is that not only are they looking towards passing trillions of dollars set forth in the Senate floor, it's already been passed on the House, but we actually as American people are looking in the wrong direction. When we end up seeing protests that are set forth on the Justice Act, it's actually being able to give forth hundreds of billions of dollars to establish the protection of the American people. We need to understand the legislature itself and the loopholes that are set forth. Looking at the 1985 Efficiency Budget Control Act set forth in Reagan, allowing them to go over the spending limits that were set forth, and then also to see where the other money is actually going. When they are fighting the COVID-19 virus, the coronavirus, if you will, to understand where are we putting that money. Yes, the states need the money. What is the actual influence that we're going to have if we end up putting a stimulus of $1,200 into the economy for each and every American if we're not looking towards paying off the $70,000 in debt that each and every American owes? Now, we already have plans to be able to alleviate that. It also is looking towards if we can take away from the $70,000 that each American owes and the nearly $30 trillion in debt, it changes the social stratification of society, the cost of living, and changes the future of our children, for this generation and the next generation to come. But if we continue in this effort without looking towards plans to not only be able to provide at this time that we end up having a crisis set forth across America and all the world, but it is in preparing through that crisis to be able to overcome that. We have to have a plan, a contingency as it is, to be able to pay back the $3.7 trillion that they are passing here at the legislature. It's simple. All we have to have is, as Americans collectively, to have 1% to 2% that every American can give back. And with the top 1% of Americans, it nearly pays off the entirety of our national debt. It's an understanding that, and taking the legislation that's already been proposed on the floor, we have senators coming forward that already have proposed penny plans, such as the senators from Kentucky. And we can look towards that and be able to have that legislation passed. It is to also then be able to prepare to set that foundation of prosperity for the American people, for the future generation. We have to be aware of everything going on here in Washington, of the legislature, of the very nature that's set forth in the Supreme Court, as we end up having a new opportunity to fill that chair for another 40 years perhaps. That is the idea. And at this pivotal point in time, with the election set forth, Congress convening, looking towards passing this legislation, and the effects of other countries around the world going through this, we have to understand that the entire world is looking towards us. We have to have that light as a nation, as a people, for the rest of the world to look towards us, and to be that example of the nation that prospered through darkness, that we shine, and that God is with us all the way. It says on the back of the dollar bill, "In God we trust." My prayer for you today is that we learn to not only trust in our Creator, but to trust in our government and the American way of life, and to build forth a new America. It starts today. Let's begin to create a better tomorrow today. God bless. God bless America, and I'll see you.